Now, guys, I want to play a potentially informational video on Andrew Tate. Now, of course, nobody has any real information, just a bunch of speculation, but I have been keeping my ears open to the news. And I think this might be somewhat interesting. So I want to play this for you guys and you let me know what you think. Now put your ears open, fellas, because I want you to listen to this.
So, guys, we have quite a big update here. Norika Nicolai, former member of the European Parliament, former persecutor, nominated in 2008 for the position of Minister of Justice of Romania, she's talking about the Tate. Let's skip right here. Let's listen to it.
Of Romania. This is Norika Nicolai. You're paying close attention to the international actuality, and also you're a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
What do you think about this case so far, and what is your opinion on it after what you have heard here? I have not only watched the unfolding of this case on your TV broadcast, but followed this case closely as it made its debut at the end of the year during the holidays. Initially, I thought it's a cover-up for something. But from what I can see, from a criminal point of view, everything looks like an improvisation. Even the judge has excluded the rape accusation, as what the prosecution had on file wasn't sufficient evidence to convince anyone it was rape, so the judge asked for more evidence. And regarding the human trafficking accusation, obviously a very sensitive topic for USA, who is monitoring human trafficking, it is quite improvised, rigged. My opinion is that the authorities in Bucharest simply executed an order. I think it's an operation. More important is to find out what was actually the main activity conducted by the Tate brothers in Romania.
Yeah, I would like to know
Because
too.
in no case the $100 million, others say it could be more, personal wealth cannot come from video chat. Of course, Adina is perfectly right.
That's true.
I haven't seen any people being deprived of liberty.
Okay, so that is a good point right there. So everybody that's following the Tate thing very closely. Now, Andrew Tate is worth, they said 100 million, but from my understanding, it's closer to 500 million. Now, you don't make 500 million from a webcam service, especially when you're co-partners with your brother. You got all sorts of employees you got to pay, and you got 75 women that are taking a 15% cut of the income. You're not going to make $500 million. Now, that's true. So governments are wondering, where did that money come from? That is a point. That doesn't mean he's guilty of anything. All it means is he's made an awful lot of money. And I'm sure authorities are going to wonder where that money came from.
Being coerced to participate in such activities. Rather, they are some figures who have a certain influence, especially in the United States and Great Britain, who are against neo-Marxist formulas. They have all kinds of radical ideas. Sure, you can agree with them or not, but it seems that someone has given an order to make the Tate brothers disappear from their capacity to influence the public, especially Andrew, because he's the most vocal and has a certain influence on a significant number of the public. Tristan is calmer. So I'd rather think it's a workplace feud, a matter that doesn't belong to us, but to others, but it was executed in Bucharest.
Through a proxy. Okay, guys. First of all, grain of salt. I just want to make sure those are accurate statements. I hear that there are some cutting of the audio, so I wonder if who made the translation cut some of the TV report. So please let me know that. I also would like to know more about this Norika Nicolai from Romania, if all of this is legit. But this is quite important that an official figure came forward to discuss these topics, which we also discussed. It really makes you think about a lot of stuff. Of course, if we have to believe what she's hinting at, right, then we could argue that it is true. When somebody, you have to consider it this way. Andrew Tate and the brother are UK citizen and US citizen, right? And they've got to a point of notoriety, which is pretty significant. Now, forget you like them, you don't, you think they're guilty, they're innocent. That's beyond the point. But I have a sense here that if some of those entities or countries, or whatever officials are concerned about those people, will be only for one reason. Not so much what those guys have done in the past or what they meant in the past, but what they can become in the future. I give you an example. Like, if there is something that is growing so exponentially and has that level of influence, right? I've literally seen kids in Greece chanting on the street, "Free Top G." This goes beyond now, again, you like him or you don't. But if there is a power that grows, an influence that grows, and those entities can't control it, then they will try to eliminate it. And I really believe this, that they're more concerned about the future than the past, because the future is where people like this, if they continue to grow to 20 billion views on all social media or 50 billion views or whatever, they can have an effect potentially even to influence like an election. You can sway like 5 million kids, like people that can vote, young adults, to vote in a certain direction, right? So if you cannot control the power, they will try to eliminate it. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this.
All right, it looks like that's the end of that one there. So, I find that to be a fairly interesting video. Sounds like somebody in the government up there. And we all know in those, some of those governments out there, a lot of mafias and, organizations, shall we say, illegal organizations, have a lot of power and influence, kind of similar to a cartel, like El Chapo back in the days, the sort of influence he had in Mexico, right? He could influence the government, the military, the police department, because he was richer than all of them. In a lot of these countries, you've got mafia organizations and whatnot that Andrew Tate has been involved with. So if somebody just wants him to disappear, well, that could be what we're looking at here. So if that's the case, then, let's hope that Andrew Tate gets to walk away free.
Subscribe to the channel.